Hi everybody, my name's Alan. On behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. You know, there's just, in a way, there's so much to say, you know, about the human life, about, you know, why we come together on this planet as a human species, how we come together, how we broke up into countries and religions, or seemingly broke up, seemingly separated into all the ways that we think we're separated. And you could talk about all those separations and all the reasons we're not really separated, you know, week after week, month after month. And yet there is a silence, there is a quiet, there is a peace within, where the answer really comes, where the understanding of what we're doing here, of why we came in these human bodies on this glorious planet Earth. In that quiet, in that peace, in that silence, in that feeling of unconditional love, that feeling of the infinite, that feeling of inclusion within inside. We know that, we can feel that. And maybe it doesn't translate into exact words, and that's been said throughout history, is that the experience of that unconditional love, that experience of God is unspeakable in a way. It's undescribable. I mean, we spend hours, and masters and teachers throughout history have spent books and hours and weeks and lectures and workshops trying to describe that. But once you have that experience, it's indescribable. And yet we still try. I mean, we laugh about it here at Bridging, is that we do a talk show. And we bring extraordinary people in from all over the planet, and we show videos and we show art that are representations, in a way, are expressions of that silence, of that knowing, of that realization, of that connection to the One, that experience of our oneness, as we say on Bridging, dedicated to the oneness. And then we know how we're the brothers and sisters of each of us on this planet, of every mountain and every tree and every rainforest and every ant and every dolphin and every whale and every elephant. And once we have that experience, everything is different. Everything is different about how we approach the glory of this human life, the beauty of this human life, And we're here, we recognize to feel love and share it, and to serve that experience, to serve that silence, to shout about that silence, to do television shows about that silence, to do art projects about that silence, to pray that more and more of us come into that experience of that infinite, of that inclusion. And then all the things that we talk about, that we seem to experience, that we incorrectly, in a sense, or small, in a small sense, see as our separations, our countries, our religions, our sexual preferences, our heights, our weights, our ages, our socioeconomic backgrounds, our wealth. They're so small in the vastness of that silence, in the vastness of that unconditional love, in the vastness of that infinite, in the vastness of that inclusion. So the glory for us and the opportunity and the destiny and the service is that we're here together to recognize that, to realize that, to feel the love and share it, to creatively and collaboratively live every moment in a greater and greater recognition, in a greater and greater realization of that silence, of that oneness, of that love. And again, tonight's guest is literally dedicated his life to service, to healing, to love. Carlos Renos is an old, dear, favorite friend of Bridging. He's been on, we've shown his music videos on literally tens and hundreds of shows probably. But he's been on as a guest on a number of shows. If you want to see his previous shows, go to YouTube and go to Bridging Heaven and Earth show number 112, where Carlos played music and was, singing and spectacular. And then show number 125, where Carlos and I and the crew did a show right after 9/11. We did it 9/14, right after the 9/11 Triple Towers event. And, it was a very powerful time on the planet. And Carlos and I did the show together, and we're so honored to have him back. And he's an inspirational musician, world-renowned artist, a world-renowned photographer. He's a model. He's produced many uplifting and inspiring CDs. The two newest ones are Pure Bliss, where he plays the flute, and Freedom, where he sings, where he uses his guitar and his flute to share that love, to share that healing, to vibrate that experience of the unconditional love. And literally, again, that's what Carlos's life is about. And to have him here with us, to have him share his experiences he's had since the last show, 10 years ago, is just an honor and a gift for us here at Bridging. And when you see the show, you'll know it's an honor and a gift for you as well. And as most of you know, we usually show art videos, music videos, and tonight we're honored to have two of Carlos's music videos that are beautiful, with his children and his wife and his family, and this beautiful nature and just the beautiful music and inspirational energy of Carlos. And also, as most of you know, we're in the middle of an international healing art project that came as a dream, it came as a vision, as a healing of the heart of the planet, as an acupuncture for the planet. That we would use this Bridging platform that reaches all over the world through cable stations in the United States, through satellite in Europe, through YouTube and Vimeo and Google Video and other video stations on the internet. And say anybody who produces a new original piece based on the theme Bridging Heaven and Earth, we'll put it on the shows, we'll have art project shows, we'll have art exhibits. We'll hopefully at some point have them available for hospitals and museums and galleries, and so people all over the world can feel that power, feel that love. So it's anybody produces a new original piece based on the theme Bridging Heaven and Earth, and get it to us here in California, and we'll get it out to the world. And we also have an extraordinary international healing art website, Heaven to Earth Art, heaventoearthart.com. Go there, and you will see over 400 pieces of art of and it's any size, any format, any skill level, any medium. And we've had glass and sculptures and acrylics and oils and collages and big pieces and little pieces from literally the ages of 2 to 92 have sent in pieces to us here. And tonight we have two amazing pieces. Renee Blivin is from Texas, and she did 3 pieces in all, and this one, Seasons of the Shaman, a beautiful piece, unusual, amazing, and she's just really supportive of all that Bridging does and wants to be part of it. And if you want, go to the website and you'll see, they're in alphabetical order on the first name, so go to R for Renee and see the 3 pieces she's done. And then the second piece we're showing on the show is Alan Kent, who's from Peru, who sent these incredible pieces up. I mean, you'll see, very unusual, very powerful. He's from Peru, as I said, and he did 5 pieces in all. So again, go to the website, Heaven to Earth Art, go to the artist page under Alan, A-L-A-N, Kent, and you'll see these 5 unbelievable pieces, and we're showing one tonight. And again, anybody who wants to participate, the more people involved, the better the healing, just the better the creativity, the better collaboration. And we literally have another 500 or 600 people who are in there as no piece manifested yet, who want to have committed to doing a piece, have set their intention to do a piece when it comes through them joyously and lovingly, and just haven't produced one yet. So literally 1,000 artists, collaborators, family have done this, have been part of this International Healing Art Project. Everyone is welcome. The more people involved, the better the healing. So join me in a short meditation, then we'll have the first amazing Carlos video, and then Carlos and more video from Carlos, and incredible, incredible art. So join me in a short meditation. Okay, so the first video, Carlos, so beautiful. Carlos, and it's called Sand Dance. You'll see beautiful nature. Carlos's beautiful wife, Tawny, and 2 beautiful children. Sand Dance, Carlos Reynosa. Enjoy. Hi everybody, welcome back. So it was a beautiful video, Carlos Sandance. You know, just beautiful energy, beautiful children, beautiful, just beautiful. So we'll talk more to Carlos. But the beautiful piece you're seeing, the incredible international healing art piece, is Renee Bliven, Seasons of the Shaman. Renee is from McKinney, Texas. She's just an incredible healer and psychic and artist and creative person. And this particular piece is oil and acrylic on treated turkey feathers, and the background is suede cloth with matching feathers attached. And as I said at the opening, Renee has done 3 pieces as of now and is finalizing a 4th piece. And so if you want to go to the website, Heaven to Earth Art again, and go to Renee on the artist page, you'll see 3 listings for her, and you could click on them and see the big representations of her art. So anybody who wants to be part of the art project, please join us. Produce a new original piece based on the theme Bridging Heaven and Earth, any size, any format, any shape, any skill level, any age. Just get it to us here. We'll put it on the shows. We'll have art project shows. We'll have exhibits. And it's all about the healing of the planet, the acupuncture of the planet. And the more people involved, the better the healing. So that's Renee Bliven, and we'll have another piece later in between Carlos and I. So welcome, Carlos. Again, it's great to have you back. It's been a while.
It has been, but it's been a fun while.
It's been a fun while. So why don't you talk a little bit about, you know, what you've been doing as part of, like, as I said at the opening, your life is to serve and to heal and to share that love, to feel that love, that what, you know, you've been doing recently, and just bring us up to date. Because I told people can go and see the first show we did, 9/14. It's show 125, Bridging 125. So bring us a little more up to date on just activities and stuff.
Well, it's nice to be up into the 300s.
The 300 shows, yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that is amazing.
It is
Gosh.
amazing.
I mean, I thought I was doing well writing 500 songs, but doing 300 shows, my goodness, Alan.
It's pretty amazing.
It really is.
And all with a volunteer, incredibly dedicated, talented crew. Amazing.
It's so nice to see all these beautiful faces here and just smiling the same way. You must be doing something right.
It really is. It's just, I said it on a lot of shows, it's a miracle.
My
you know,
goodness.
it's meant to be. It's just meant to be. And it was from the very beginning. And when we started the shows, I think either on the 3rd or 4th show, we had the only disciples of Carlos Castaneda. You know, I've never been on a show before and never been on after. And literally from the first shows, people like you and Claire Hartsong and Byron Katie and Michael Beckwith, and just, you know, people were coming on from the very beginning. Just, you know, it was just meant to be and meant to get this message of love and oneness and the infinite and inclusion out to the world.
Things that are good just seem to grow.
And, you know, as I said at the opening, how many times we've shown your videos?
Well, just being on this many times, I feel, my gosh, so blessed to be here.
Very cool.
Thank you very much.
That's great. So why don't you, you know, bring people a little up to date and tell them about your new CDs and what's coming out, and,
Well,
you know, how you're just spreading that love.
I'm doing double time again. I have a song CD and a flute CD out, you know, and it's kind of fun working in different mediums.
Right.
And, you know, we only have a certain amount of time, so I like to kind of utilize my time the best I can, and it seems that people enjoy what I do, so I just keep duplicating, duplicating what I do, whether it be images or music. And I think that the most wonderful thing about it is just the feeling I get for giving. I mean, I feel so selfish. People always give me so much gratitude and call me so many beautiful names and things that are hard for me to repeat because they're so beautiful. Sometimes it's hard to see yourself in that image, but at the same time, it just keeps making me smile and smile and smile and
Very
feel
joyous,
good.
right.
My goodness, the reflection you have for seeing people in great states of mind, whether it be at a funeral. I mean, people are so distraught to go to a place when there's lots and lots of people, to be so distraught and to have that little string of a few notes that bring them back around, to remember that it's okay. Life is okay. Every breath is okay. We all wait our turn. And it's okay. You know, music, without it, what would we have? Really? The joyous times, or even times that we don't feel well. I mean, I was talking to a gentleman here of punk rock. I mean, when you're a teenage boy and you have no girlfriend, well, just slam into your friends. What else can you do? But it's still an emotion. Emotion you'll hopefully grow out of, but it's still an emotion. And sometimes music just sets you straight with all those emotions. And you can face them, because sometimes it's difficult to feel those things. People don't want to hear it. Like somebody just broke up with somebody, they don't want to hear a love song. Please, I don't want to hear it, because it makes me feel bad. But that's what's being human, is feeling. Because if we don't know how bad we can feel, we don't know how great we're going to feel. And once we feel great, we know that it's not always going to last, so better soak it up. And look at you, you've been soaking it up good, obviously.
I'm very fortunate. We know that. Very fortunate.
My goodness.
Yeah, very fortunate. I mean, between, you know, the show and all the incredible people we get to deal with, both as guests and crew and bridging family, and then these 1,000 artists from all over the planet.
Everywhere I go in your studio, I feel bad now. All I'm doing is making videos.
I mean, we've been trying to encourage you. I mean, you're such a, I mean, I kept saying to Bianca, I said, Carlos is so talented. He's an unbelievable photographer. For him not to have, I've said it to you, for you not to have a piece of the art project, it's like, how can this be? What is the disharmony on the planet?
I feel so bad, all these beautiful things.
Well, you got time.
I feel like I'm useless. And that's all I do is do art.
And how can you not have a piece here? But we'll make that right.
But where I live now, my gosh, a big sky all day long.
So you live up the mountain near...
Yeah, above Palm Springs, the San Jacinto Mountains. A beautiful place to be, because there's millions of people around me, but they're about 20 miles away.
So you get a chance to really be quiet and really create. Like I talked at the opening about that silence, to really come and...
Gosh, how hard is it in Southern California to find some silence? I mean, how many people go to the beach and realize there's a bunch of other people lining the beach looking out into the silence?
Right.
And to find it on land in Southern California, wow, we are just so very, very lucky. Right. I mean, we're a couple of canyons over from where Timothy Leary hung out with Jimi Hendrix, looking at the sky, right in purple haze. So I brought you Pink Bliss.
All right, Pink Bliss and Purple Haze.
Well, I couldn't call it Purple Bliss, because I figured, you know, I'd be stealing from my buddy Jimmy.
Right. Beautiful. I think actually we have this. We got it all either off the internet or you sent it before.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah. Well, I am very proud of this, that's for sure.
It's lovely. Yeah, I think we've shown actually some video. You've done videos from there.
Well, the one that you just showed, Sandance, is on that as well.
Right, and I think another one we showed earlier was from Pink Bliss. I remember announcing it.
Maybe Hum, I think
you
guys
I think
showed.
Hum we showed, so.
Well, in the video department, I'm an overachiever, right?
Well, everybody's learning. It's so much easier now.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, everybody can walk
and
around
to do it on
HD.
YouTube, and we can, you know, download it from YouTube and then make it into, you know, the format that we need for our editors. So it, you know, makes it easier for us to show beautiful videos, you know, that come in from all over the world, and just say, yeah. I mean, like we'll call you up and say, is this one available? And you go, yeah. Go to this website on YouTube, and we download it and get it, and you know, then we could put it on the shows and feature it, and it's very cool.
Nice. I think that's a wonderful thing that has happened in the last 10 years, is that your show was a pioneer, because there wasn't places to go. I mean, there was a handful of native shows that I went on, and your wonderful show. And now, I mean, there's people who can pick up your videos in, you know, Switzerland I'm being shown, and Italy, and you know, doing really well in Russia and all kinds of different places where I don't even speak the language.
Well, you speak the language of music, speak the
notes.
language of love.
Notes.
Right.
That, you know, the wonderful thing about the flute is only 5 notes in the native flute of the pentatonic scale, the basis of the blues. And people don't realize how that can touch them like it does.
It's so root. It's, you know, so primordial.
Exactly. And being the third instrument after the drum and rattle, it's just, it's in everyone. And everyone usually can whistle when they're younger. And figuring out different songs on 5 notes and writing
You
all those.
managed to do about 500 of them, so there must be a way to do it, right?
Well, you know, I really didn't think I was going to make this album or make another album in that way, pure flute. But when I made this album, it was very inspiring. I had just worked on a movie that's actually, I'm supposed to find out if it's nominated actually last night for an Academy Award or not.
Wow.
It was part of Docu Week, part of the Academy Award documentations that were shown there in LA and New York. And it's about a man named Douglas White. And he was the last Lakota medicine man, the eldest. And none of the other medicine men wanted to play his flute, so they sent it to me to play on the movie about him. And it was
Why didn't they want to play it? Because
they were hoping that this
reverence?
gentleman was going to come out of jail and be their elder medicine man. So that's what they were hoping for. But unfortunately, he died last year in prison. And to play this flute was just an honor. You know, Russell Means, a friend of mine, just died, and he was one who put forth them sending me the flute and playing this beautiful eagle whistle that was there beside Crazy Horse and Black Elk when they died. And to play this flute was really just a fascinating experience.
Was it different? I mean, energetically, when you picked it up, did you feel different?
They didn't tell me exactly about it. It was after the fact, because it was, you know, I had to, I have to drive a long ways being up in the mountains, but it's very worth it. But going to the studio, I got to work immediately doing some of the tracks, and I played the flute, you know, throughout the movie. But once it came to this one part, they wanted me to play the special flute, and they brought it to me, and didn't tell me the story until afterwards, because I guess they didn't want to freak me out. Not that I would have been freaked out,
right,
but
no, but got in your head or any thoughts about just
I mean, it's
pick it up
very,
and play
for
it?
Native people,
Right.
the flute beside Crazy Horse when he died was a very, very big deal.
Right.
And for me to get to play it really was quite an honor, really. And I basically went home and recorded every night for two weeks and recorded about 70 songs. And then cut it.
With this particular?
No, with my own flutes, my own
yeah.
flutes. I have about 300 flutes or so, maybe a little bit more. But, you know, it's just that quiet. When you have a couple of little boys, it's kind of hard to have quiet during the day. So I just sat for 2 weeks every night and brought out what my ancestors wanted me to play. You know, especially with the California flutes, most people don't realize that the music was lost between the mission system and tragedies with the Americans. You know, a lot of Native people really have hidden their sacred music away, and it's disappeared. So for different people to be able to trust me with their music is really, really a wonderful thing. The last video that you saw, Sandance, was actually a rhythm from California, a round dance rhythm, which people feel in other musics, but don't sometimes get to hear the original musics here of California. And I think that's, you know, can be tragic for people not to hear the traditional musics of the land that have been played a long time, because, as we say, everything's connected, right? The tree has seen so many generations walk by, and the ground has had so many people walk by. And as they say, we've all taken an inhale. And everybody's maybe had the same air. That's why when something tragic happens on the other side of the earth, a little child crying or screaming out, people don't realize that air travels, doesn't take much time, comes around, we breathe that back in, we bring that energy in. And that's that connectedness, and no different than a mother knowing that the child has been hit in another state, the instant it happens. It's something very important that a lot of people don't recognize is happening all the time. Spirit world's so far away, in the ground, up in the air. No, it's right here. It's within us. Our ancestors 7 generations ago were hoping that we'd be here today, no matter where we came from. Whether they went down the Chisholm Trail, or they were indigenous to this continent, or others, to make the trip just here to the New World, our fathers and our mothers. I mean, every single life, just to be here at this point, could you imagine all the tragedies of the past? First World War, Second World War, and nothing but talk of war. We have warriors, we have war. We have people like you. We have some meditation and people contemplating about life and the life that's going to be to come. We're just the stabilization of the lives to come. My children and their children, we sit here and we hold them all up. That's what people don't understand. Figuring out this craziness of this world.
Healing the heart of it, right.
We got to figure out, how do we use a flying robot? Where do we find the justification to drop from a machine? Where does the human aspect come back? How do we find humanity in all the things that we see? We have to feed the world. And some people do eat meat. But it's still reflection from the animals if we don't treat them right. No different if we tear another person down to step upon them, like we've seen. We have banks owning homes that nobody live in, and children in the street. That's something that's very hard to sit every day. It doesn't make any sense. How can we have banks owning homes, every third home, and then children in the street? It seems like
doesn't fit.
The banks don't need money to help people on the street, but yet they've taken their home. I mean,
and they're empty, and no one's living in it, and they're deteriorating.
You can't stroke somebody and make them feel good at the same time slap them in the back of the head.
Doesn't work so good.
It doesn't work so good.
We're a little whacked, huh?
And the nice thing is to come into contact with so many beautiful people. My gosh. Not only as a photographer, but as a musician, to see the faces on audiences, in their eyes and how they feel, it just makes me grow. No different than a funeral. I mean, seeing everybody so sad and just having that little bit of thread that hooks them back, that it's okay to get up the next day. It's going to be all right. Somehow it's going to be okay.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier, that's why we're here, is to bring that magic back, to bring the joy, to heal all that disharmony and craziness where there are empty houses, to build a new paradise where people live in houses. They're not meant to be owned and empty. While people on the street
don't have any place to live.
Excuse me? How does that fit in humanness,
Exactly.
in love?
And to see the food wasted as well. I mean, even if you look at any of the traditional writings, you cannot let somebody go hungry. Can we let people go hungry? If me and you saw somebody hungry, that's why all the egg rolls are gone. I couldn't believe you ate all the egg rolls.
I ate a good portion. I didn't eat them all. There are a lot. There are a lot of egg rolls being eaten by others, but I will take credit. I like those egg rolls.
And all these people here, my goodness, what
lovely.
A wonderful thing. I mean, when I first did the show, there was Gene and 3 or 4 others and the crew, but now,
yeah, it's beautiful.
and people all over the world, the internet has really done a wonderful thing, and I hope they can keep it free and easy, because let's face it, there's a lot of wonderful ideas out there.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, it changed everything.
And even if it just starts as an idea, it can grow and grow and grow and grow, because the little ones get the ideas from the elders, and they can figure out something that might have been just a dream for us.
Right. So maybe what we'll do, we'll get into that in the second half, but why don't you introduce, the second video people are going to see of yours is Do You Feel? Ooh. So why don't you talk about that and what meant for you to do it, and just introduce people to that.
When you play for a lot of people at the end of their lives, and you see people talk about what they did, and you hear it on a regular basis, you start thinking about, my goodness, brothers, sisters, do something. There's something happy out there. There's something more than spending the 80 hours a week on in front of the TV and continually working and working and working. There's more than that. There's feeling, and there's helping others. That's how it makes you feel so good. I mean, my goodness, to see somebody smile, or to see somebody understand something that they didn't before. It's not that anybody's more special than others. It's just your attention, as they say. If your attention goes there, you're going to learn about it. If we exercise our rights to make people feel, then that's what we do. Make them feel through their meditation or through a note, a musical note, to have people feel something. Is, my gosh, that's why we're here. To know the difference between feeling nothing and feeling something.
Okay, this is a beautiful video. Carlos, do you feel? Enjoy, and we'll be back with more art with Carlos. Do you feel? Enjoy.
Do ya feel real, real good? Do ya feel real, real good? Do you feel all is lost? Do you feel that at any cost? Do ya feel the greed? Do you feel really truly free? Really truly free? Do ya feel real, real good? Do ya feel real, real good? Do you feel the setting sun? Do you feel that your life is fun? Do ya feel your soul? Do you feel like letting go? Well, sing a song makes you feel good. Sing along makes you feel. Sing a song makes you feel good. Sing along makes you feel. Sing a song makes you feel good. Sing along makes you feel. Sing a song makes you feel good. Sing along makes you feel. Makes you feel.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Do you feel? So, do you feel? And the incredible piece of art you see in between Carlos and I is by Alan Kent. It's called Alchemic Union. It's an acrylic on canvas. Alan is from Trujillo, La Libertad, Peru. Alan's website is www.alankent.info. And Alan has done 4 other pieces, 5 in all as of now. So go to the Healing Art website, go to Alan Kent, and you'll see these unbelievable, powerful, beautiful pieces. And this is what Alan says about Alchemic Union. The female and male energies get back to the original harmony between them. The male energy has created lots of stormy days, and it's time for the female energy, or the goddess, to claim her place back in order to balance Earth and bring it back to a more heavenly state. So Alan Kent, amazing artist, amazing person, 5 in from Peru. Anybody who wants to produce a new original piece from any place in the world, any size, any format, any skill level, do it, join us here. It's an honor for us to be part of it, and really you'll feel like it's an honor and a delight for you to be part of it as well, to be part of that creativity, that collaboration, that healing, that love. So on that note, healing and the love, we're back with Carlos. So we were talking earlier about, in a sense, the disharmonies and the way somehow this society has evolved to the point that there are people, homeless people, hungry people, people without clean water, and that we have hundreds of empty houses foreclosed on, that we can build an army base in the middle of the desert over a weekend, and we can't get clean water and clean food to people all over the world. So, and we were talking that we're here to rebalance, to reconnect, to heal the heart. So why don't you talk about that?
Or at least let people see what their reflections are doing. Because I think that if somebody goes home and they sit in their own space and go, I'm okay with this. But if they spend their day doing something that's destructive to the planet or to other human beings, that is a direct reflection on them, no matter where they put their mind space. I mean, I think that if people could realize that every thought that they have, even if they have one negative thought, is really a bad curse they could put on somebody. Let's have good thoughts. Let's make good thoughts become good deeds in a way that we keep thinking about it in a good way, and in a good way, and in a good way. To think about somebody in a good way is like giving them a prayer. That thought is an instant piece of electricity. Just an instant. Well, it's like when thinking about you, Alan. It's an instant. And everybody out there, just an instant of electricity sent your way.
Feels good.
It feels nice. Good, oh, it feels good. Feels real good.
Right.
If continually people were putting a negative slant on you every time they thought about you, Alan, oh, that no good dastardly villain.
There are enough of those that are, no.
He put Penelope right on the train tracks.
Less and less,
right. Less and less. The reflection of you is just to have people speaking of you like that. If they're speaking of you in a bad way out of jealousy or something, that's their own problem. But to see the light, to see that we are connected. If you have one kind gesture towards another human being, my goodness, what a good prayer that is. Not only a good thought, but a kind gesture.
Yeah, and we talk a lot, and I know you talk a lot about, I mean, it's fairly old, but simple and really profound, to treat others as you'd like to be treated. I mean, which of us doesn't want to be treated nicely?
That. I mean, even in the Native community or our own small communities, we treat each other in our own families and our own communities a certain way, and then we go out into the big world and think that people are any different. They're not any different. They love their children the same. Their grandparents the same. They cry the same. And because they look a little different or they have this problem or that problem, we are going to look down on them or think badly about them. All we can do is have a good thought, a good prayer, because every thought is still an action of electricity. Whether it be very faint electricity, it's still an action of electricity, no different than the sunlight. And what does the sun do for all of us? My goodness. Obviously, it's done wonderful things for this planet, traveling over 3,000 miles an hour, spinning around it, giving it life, no matter what we do. I mean, even explaining to my boys, putting a piece of wood inside the fire. A piece of wood inside the fire is a tree that stood under the sun, sucking up all that energy, sucking from the earth and sucking from the sky. All of that energy exploding into fire to keep us warm. No different than somebody telling you to take your vitamins. You haven't sucked enough earth. You don't have a plant that suck up the nutrients right from our mother. That's what they're telling you to do. When you take a vitamin, you ate something that's not fitting you because you're not eating earth. Whatever the earth is bringing up, sometimes that's what we're in need, right? Some doctors will tell you need zinc, you need a little of this. They're just telling you what part of earth you're not eating. Because we all need to eat earth, as well as suck up the sun. That's what makes life go around, in a simple sense. And if we have good thoughts about those beautiful little things, it's easy to put them on big things, because big problems are just a bunch of little tiny little steps.
Yeah, we build up a beautiful momentum.
Yeah, you build up a beautiful momentum and knock down the dam of truth, right? I mean, people want to hear what's really happening. Why do we have to hear double talk continually? Sure, we're afraid. Sure, we're afraid of a gun. Why shouldn't we? We've seen what they've done to other societies. And we can see what they can do with our children if they're not taught right. And let's face it, when people take little pills and try to figure out what your body needs, it doesn't work up here. The body is the best healing thing if you give it everything that the earth and the sun are giving you, because it takes what it needs. It takes what it needs. It's no different than people are putting stuff in the microwave. People don't realize that it heats from the center. It explodes the molecular structure of the actual cell. And the body lets it pass through because it doesn't recognize the cell as a whole cell. It's exploded. It's something nuclear. It's been changed molecularly. It doesn't recognize it. There's no nutrition in it. The simple, most basic things of clean water and things growing from the earth, sitting in the sun. Those simple things can change our lives to just look at other people in a different way. We're seeing everything cut. We have a box of cereal.
Separated.
Some people say there's only 5 grains of corn in a box of some of these cornflakes. They're just cutting it with anything else. They'll cut it with the cardboard on the box to make a profit. And if we always thinking about profit, we run to the bottom, run to the bottom. When we think about good things and how we can help and how we can make beautiful things. Look at this. My goodness, the intention of this person, the details of this and of the hair and the beautiful figure of the woman and the storminess behind this man and the reflection of what men has done to women. Our mother is just that, a nurturer. And men have found different ways to think that they could do better, whether it be blocking the river, whether it be destroying the greatest herd of the world, right? This continent right here made the zebras and the wildebeest of Africa look like little petting zoos. We had a herd here that took 2.5 weeks to go by, and you couldn't see the other side. More meat, they say, could feed the whole world. And for fun. People shot them left and right, even from the train. Hey, let's go out west. They're renting guns and ammunition to shoot the buffalo along the way. This is an attitude that I think everybody has realized doesn't work. We don't want to see the last tigers gone in our generation. We're seeing a lot of things disappear that shouldn't disappear because they're pure life. Maybe just one of the fingers of life. But how many fingers can we keep cutting off? We can't. There's not always a solution, scientifically. Man can't always have the right attitude and the right decisions. It's impossible. It happens in a natural sense. At least for us to feel good. Because our intentions have spread out in so many different branches, it's hard to see the truth. If we recognize the certain aspects of life and we just touch on a tiny bit, we can grow and grow and grow, even with our relationships with others. Because just a tiny smile to the biggest, strongest, misfortunate person, all they're looking for is a little friendly attitude sometimes.
Yeah, we talk about it as feeling love and sharing it. Everybody wants
Everybody.
it. And how they would define it and their concept of it might be a lot different. But that feeling.
That feeling, even the officer that pulls you over, that breaks into a smile because you were nice to him, it changes the whole situation. I tell people, how'd you get that ticket? I was so upset when I told him. How did you not get the ticket? I smiled. I just smiled. I'm sorry. Just with a greeting of a different attitude comes up with a different situation for you, right? Just applying your brain in a different aspect. Thinking, no, I'm not going to think any bad thoughts today. I'm going to think good thoughts. Good thoughts. So I put good blessings on people. So the reflection back to me can only be good. We hope anyway. Because that's all we have is a short time. The time is so very short. My goodness, how quick 10 years went by. Of being first time on the show. It goes by like this. But if we have the same vision of treating people with so much respect and realizing that, my goodness, every fish in that ocean, every bird that flies by, the air has been taken in by others for nourishment of their body to be able to move. No different than the big trees. Watching the air go by for how many times spinning around? And how many times do they wish that there wasn't voices of distress on that air? Just a voice of a child wishing he had something to eat. Or a mother begging for someone who can never come back alive because for money, for oil, for treasure. We see the Queen walking through her gold all the time. And we see the Vatican, it's got so much gold they don't know what to do with. They got hats of gold that are so high. And the poorest people every week put their pesos in the basket. Some people say some weeks are $2 billion. Enough to feed them all and give them water. But yet the gold still goes back down underground maybe with the basket going by. You got a basket around here? I want to put a little bunny in there.
I don't know what to say to that.
But at the same time, the institutions, if they've become unfamiliar with humanity, then they've lost their humanity. And there's no reason to support them any longer because institutions don't breathe. Humans do. Humans think and they feel. And when we think badly about another people, my goodness, they have children the same, they need nutrition the same, and their governments are probably controlling them just the same anyway as well. So no matter where they come from, we got to look at the brightness. And one of the wonderful things is to look at their music. No matter who we're having a problem with, if we listen to their music, we can go, wow, there's rhythm, there's rhyme, there's romance, there's passion. And those passions, with good intentions, humans can do anything. These brains can do anything. Our hands can do anything that we choose. If we have the right intention. Look at all this intention you put together. My goodness. I'm just one of so many that have come on your show. My goodness. And the benefits of being able to be on your show are wonderful. I mean, not only me repeating them, but you repeating them. I think 300,000 people have seen us being on these shows, and it's wonderful. Because, let's face it, the mainstream aren't talking about these kind of things. The mainstream want you to think you should go into a club looking so good that you're too cool to look at anybody else. I'm too cool for you people. I can't look at you because I'm way too cool for you. I have this car and I'm gonna drive by because I'm way too cool for you. Everybody's too cool for everybody else. Instead of going, hey, let's look into their eyes. Let's understand them. Let's understand another person. There's something to be gained. Always something to be gained just by information. I learned things from just being here today by listening and asking a couple of little questions and listening to what other people have to offer. My goodness. You have some of the best people here. Everybody has something to offer. Some intellect.
A lot of interesting people here come through this place.
That's wonderful. Yeah. My goodness. Sometimes it's the little tiny bit of you that's a misfit, that doesn't fit in, that makes everything great in the end. Like we talked about earlier, that Pinocchio, well, not Pinocchio, Rudolph, the other guy with the nose, going to the Misfit Island, and everybody has a little something different with the toys, and no kids really want them. No, kids will play with anything, really, as long as they got a smile. And the same thing with human beings. Everybody will listen to you if you have a story and you have an ear, because that's the hardest thing, right? Sit and listen to so many people like me. Bah, 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 bah. It's a wonderful thing, Alan. A wonderful thing.
It's a really incredible time. And amazingly, we're coming to the end of this next show. But let's not go another 10 years before we get
Please,
back
let's
and
not,
do it again.
because
So,
it's been enjoyable, and a lot of things are based on this
Right.
on this show. I mean, as an artist, to cross over into a spiritual realm of people thinking that I can help them in ways of listening to my music, my goodness, how can I stop making music?
That's right. And also, if you want any information about Carlos, the art project, Bridging, call me, Alan, 805-687-2053, 805-687-2053. Really, it's an opportunity of us all to feel the love, to share it, to do service, to heal the heart. We love you. Good night. God bless you. Thanks for coming. Good night.